We were never supposed to go to Ireland. Our trip was Italy, France, Belgium, and done. Then we discovered that Aer Lingus offers up to 6 free stopover nights when you transit through Ireland. That single decision turned a layover into one of the most unexpectedly beautiful trips we've ever taken. Ireland is country number 4 on this trip. We are tired. We've been living out of suitcases for weeks, 4 of us sharing one room while our teenagers had their own space everywhere else. And then we drive out of Dublin Airport and the green just hits us. Not manicured, not managed, a wild, relentless, ancient green that runs all the way to the edge of the cliffs. We had been warned that the people in Northern Ireland, where we were heading first, were less warm than in the Republic. That was not our experience. From Ballycastle to Doolin, every person we encountered was genuinely kind. The greatest attraction in Ireland is not a castle or a causeway, it is the people. And the best stays of the trip were always couple-run bed and breakfasts. That is where the full Irish breakfast lives, every single morning. Eggs, baked beans, sausage, toast. It's not just a meal, it's a ritual. Our base for the first 2 nights is Carnately Lodge, just outside Ballycastle in County Antrim. A quick note before we go further. Northern Ireland is technically part of the United Kingdom, not the Republic of Ireland. You will see the Union Jack flying alongside the Irish tricolour. The Causeway Coast is a Game of Thrones pilgrimage whether you intend it to be or not. Larrybane Quarry, where Renly Baratheon's camp was filmed, sits right next to Carrick-a-Rede Rope Bridge. The Dark Hedges, that impossibly cinematic avenue of twisted beech trees, is the King's Road, the approach to King's Landing. Even our bed and breakfast leans into it. If you're a fan, this coastline will feel like walking onto a set. Carrick-a-Rede. Here's an honest note. The bridge itself is shorter than you expect. The drama is in the setting, the cliffs and the sea, not the crossing. Manage expectations on the bridge and let the landscape do the rest. This is timed entry, so book in advance and arrive before 11 a.m. to beat the tourist buses. Dinner on the Causeway Coast means Bushmills Inn, a restored coaching inn from 1830 with open turf fires and the kind of menu that's been feeding travelers here for exactly that long. One of the few places was still serving late in the evening. And then there's driving in Ireland. Jason drove on the left for the first time. The country roads, technically one lane, are somehow also the route for full-size tourist coaches at full speed coming the other direction. We made it. It becomes funny approximately 2 days after it stops being terrifying. Giant's Causeway is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. 40,000 interlocking basalt columns formed 60 million years ago by volcanic activity. You have seen the photographs. They do not prepare you. Here's the only tip you need. Go after 7 p.m. in the summer. The visitor center closes at 7 and the tour buses leave. The gift shop shuts down, and a public right-of-way established by a high court ruling in the 1800s means the causeway belongs to everyone at any hour, free of charge. What you're left with is one of the most extraordinary geological formations on the earth, and almost no one else is on it. That is your personal playground. That is the photograph. That is the memory. In July, the light holds until nearly 10 p.m. Go after 7, stay as long as you can. From the Causeway Coast, we cut west into Donegal, and the landscape shifts. One night at Heaney's Lodge, just outside Donegal town, another couple, another extraordinary breakfast, and another reminder that the soul of Irish travel lives in these small family-run places. Donegal Castle is a 15th century tower house that's survived more Irish history than most buildings. It is definitely worth a stop. And if you need to decompress completely after days of driving, the nature walk around Lough Eske is exactly what a body needs. It's green, it's still, and nobody's trying to sell you anything. End the evening at the bar in Donegal Castle Hotel. Beautiful hotel, great whiskey, easy conversation. That's Donegal. A note on castles and ruins generally, because Ireland has them everywhere. After your second or third one, they start to blur. If you're a history buff, this country is paradise and stop at every single one. If you're not, give yourself permission to drive past. The landscape between the ruins is half the point, anyway. We had planned to overnight in Galway. By this point in the trip, the teenagers had a vote and they won. We made it a long lunch stop instead. Honestly, for a first visit, that's not the worst call. The Latin Quarter is exactly what it sounds like: narrow medieval streets, buskers, really genuine energy. The Spanish arch dates to 1594. It was built to protect the docks where Spanish ships once unloaded their wine. Right next to it, Galway City Museum is free and worth an hour of your time. The history of this area is richer than a lunch stop can do justice to. Walk it, eat well, and let the city wash over you for a few hours. Galway deserves its own trip. We gave it an afternoon and left wanting more. Then south into the Burren, 250 square kilometers of exposed limestone pavement with almost no soil, wildflowers growing straight out of the rock. It looks like the land forgot to finish forming. And in the middle of it stands Poulnabrone, a portal tomb built somewhere between 4200 and 2900 BC. I found myself barely reaching for my camera. Some places ask you to be present instead of documenting. Poulnabrone is one of them. Just down the road, Aillwee Cave takes you underground into the Burren itself. Ancient brown bear remains were found inside, and the chambers lead to a waterfall deep in the rock. The Birds of Prey Center above ground offers hawking demonstrations worth stopping for. Two very different experiences, same address. The Cliffs of Moher, 214 meters at their highest point, 8 kilometers of cliff edge along the Atlantic. Here's how to do it right. First, again, like Giant's Causeway, go late. May through August, the site is open until 9 p.m. Crowds thin dramatically after 4. Second, and this is the move most people miss, walk past the visitor center. Keep going for a mile, maybe 2. The tour groups don't make it that far. And when you turn around and look back, you are seeing the full sweep of the cliffs from the outside at the angle that you don't really get to see. That is the shot. That is the moment. The cliffs glow at sunset. We were there in July, and the light lasts nearly till 10 p.m. Give yourself the evening. You will not want to leave. We stayed 2 nights in Doolin, in a tiny village that punches well above its weight for traditional Irish music and pub culture. Our bed and breakfast, Glacier Meadows, was fine and comfortable, but the most commercial experience of the trip. It didn't have the soul of the couple run places. We would probably try somewhere else next time. Doolin Cave is home to Europe's longest stalactite, over 7 meters of pure geological time hanging in the dark, worth every step down. But pub culture, Doolin, and really across all of Ireland is something no itinerary fully prepares us for. These are not bars, they are living rooms that happen to serve Guinness. And speaking of Guinness, if you've never had one poured properly before, in Ireland that changes. Fresh, cold, and nothing like you've had anywhere else. Lunch for us became a ritual almost immediately. Fish stew and a Guinness, ordered wherever we happened to be when noon arrived. Regional and simple and exactly right. Bangers and mash earned their place too. One note about food in rural Ireland. This is not France or Italy where global cuisine has moved into every village. In the smaller towns along the wild Atlantic Way, the food is Irish. Lean into it completely. You will not be disappointed. On our way back toward Dublin, we stopped at King John's Castle in Limerick, one of the best preserved Norman castles in Ireland, right on the River Shannon. Our last night in Ireland is not in Dublin. It was supposed to be, but by the time we finish Doolin, we are done. 4 countries, 4 weeks of living in suitcases, the long, beautiful exhaustion of people who have just seen too much and need their own beds. Ireland was never on the plan. 6 free stopover nights from Aer Lingus put it on the itinerary, and it earned every single day we gave it. Before you book your next transatlantic flight, check what stopover program comes with it. The answer might change your entire trip. It changed ours. Thanks for watching. If you loved this guide, subscribe for more hidden gems and authentic travel experiences. New videos every Thursday at 2 p.m. Until next time, keep gallivanting and remember to savor the world mindfully, one bite at a time.